episode 75 of Piv's NXT Point of View podcast. My name is Bill Pivots. So this week was a very eventful week of NXT. We had Hideo Itami return to NXT after over a year, and Bobby Roode finally made his NXT TV debut. He's been appearing on house shows for the last couple months, but tonight made his first appearance on NXT on the WWE Network. So, the show kicked off with Hideo Itami versus Sean Maluta. Sean Maluta competed on in the Cruiserweight Classic. He didn't win his first round matchup, but he had a good showing. The match started off with Hideo landing a couple kicks. Maluta landed a double knee jawbreaker from the second rope, and then he hit some kicks of his own. At that, though, Itami wasn't selling them. He was firing up, hulking up a little bit. He connected with a running boot in the corner, his striking combination, and then the hesitation drop kick before winning with the running knee. Decent match. It was mostly a welcome back showcase for Hideo Itami. But I do like how they're incorporating some of the Cruiserweight Classic guys into the NXT show. I know they had Kota Ibushi last week, and I think they had one or two other people sprinkled throughout the shows. But it pretty much gives them 32 more guys on the roster to use. Granted, they're all not going to be signed. I know there are a couple that WWE are either signing or interested in signing, so it's going to add more depth to the roster considering they did lose some talent during the WWE draft. It just exposes the fans to new talent, and it's kind of like a tryout to see how the fans react to these guys, and I like it. It's smart on their part. Gives them more talent to work with. Overall, Hideo Itami looked good in his match. He wasn't really apprehensive at all. He wasn't hesitating with some of his moves. He was going full force, which is good to see after being out for so long. The NXT roster, especially the main event picture, definitely needed Itami back. He's I think the number 2 babyface now behind Shinsuke Nakamura, considering Balor's gone. It's an all-Asian babyface NXT roster with Asuka mixed in there too. But maybe they'll play up the fact that Joe injured him if he does retain the NXT title after TakeOver. It's a built-in storyline right there. It's pretty much written for them. So we'll see what he does leading into TakeOver. We then got a recap of the authors of Pain Attack on American Alpha a couple weeks ago. Andrea interviewed the Revival, asked about pressure. As they usually do, they are just as confident. TM61 interrupted, saying that they're one of the best teams in the world. Ciampa and Gargano interrupted them, saying that it doesn't matter where they are in the line. The Revival doesn't want to face him after Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano defeated them. The Revival really didn't want part of any of this, and they left, leaving the two babyface teams to chatter and talk amongst themselves. Second match was Mojo Rawley against Chris Atkins, and I thought I would be done with Mojo Rawley. Luckily enough, Samoa Joe took care of that. Mojo ran into Atkins like a pounce similar to Marcus Corvan. During his pin attempt, though, Samoa Joe ran down, attacked them both, and that's one way to get rid of Mojo. Joe then called out Regal, saying that he will ruin his show. While he was cutting his promo, Mojo attacked him and then beat him down in the corner. You done messed up, Ron, or Mojo in this case. As he was walking up the ramp, Samoa Joe attacked him again and locked in the Coquina Clutch, saying that this is what he's going to do to Nakamura. Bayley was asked about her preparation to avoid losing to Asuka again. As she was talking, Asuka appeared. Asuka said, think you're ready? Come watch. Bayley came out, sat with the announcers, but before the match started, Asuka propped a chair up on the ramp and invited Bayley to sit at it. Bayley obliged, but she knocked the chair away and stood at ringside for the match. Asuka was facing Aaliyah in her match. She landed the hip attack off, this is Asuka landing the hip attack off the ropes and then pointed at Bayley. She then had Aaliyah tied up in the ropes and stared at Bayley the whole time. Aaliyah had some offense in there, but this is obviously a one-sided match. After the super kick from the corner, Asuka went for the pin, but picked her back up. She then won with the Asuka lock. She didn't break the hold right away, so Bayley entered the ring to make the save. I give Aaliyah a lot of credit for accepting this match with Asuka. I'm assuming those strikes weren't the softest thing in the world, so I definitely give her credit for getting in there with Asuka. And before you say anything, this definitely wasn't a heel turn for Asuka about her not letting go of the hold and just doing what she was doing in this match. It's more of a message to Bayley saying that you think you're ready for this, you haven't seen anything yet, this is what I'm capable of, get ready for TakeOver kind of message. And it worked. I liked it. She's just as confident. She's not backing down to Bayley. Bayley doing the same thing, and her sympathetic babyface character that she's been playing is perfect for the Asuka character of her. I'm going to kick your ass in any way, shape, and form that I can. We got a recap of Only Lorcan's upset win over Ty Dillinger, and he cut some sort of promo saying he's going back to his roots. Bobby Roode was up next, and we got another promo vignette for a mystery superstar On the screen, it said Ember Moon 8/2016, which is TakeOver Brooklyn. So we'll see whatever this is at TakeOver. It was finally time. Bobby Roode made his appearance on NXT. First thing, his theme song is fucking amazing. It starts off with just a high-pitched Glorious, and then it just sounds like a Queen song from there. And I'm a big fan of Queen. It's amazing theme song. It's probably my second favorite next to Nakamura's. It's the best thing, and it works really well for the character he's portraying right now. He got in the ring, said that the wait's finally over, and Bobby Roode is NXT. He said he was front row at TakeOver Dallas. From that moment on, that TNA, Jesus Christ, that NXT was the perfect place for him. He said that we, even the fans, are NXT, and he's going to take NXT to the next level. He said he's the global superstar NXT's been looking for, and this is where he began to start healing it up, saying he's the best thing ever, best thing since sliced bread. He's going to be the one to single-handedly carry NXT, and the crowd was finally booing him after cheering him for his appearance. He wanted to make NXT a better place, and saying that businessmen and women, CEOs, presidents, vice presidents will be in the audience, not these stupid fans. And from this moment on, NXT will be glorious. And ended his promo. That promo itself was glorious. He began on the fan side, including them with the whole NXT revolution and saying they're a part of it and all that. And then he turned on them by saying that he alone is going to take NXT to new heights and change the face of NXT. He's the perfect number 2 heel behind Samoa Joe. The announcers did play up to the fact that he's familiar with some of the guys on the NXT roster, like, we haven't seen him in a while, but Eric Young, they mentioned, Austin Aries, and the champion Samoa Joe. Maybe him and Itami will face off. They really don't have any direction for either guy just yet. So it'll be a nice little dream match for TakeOver Brooklyn before they start building into the real feuds. Considering TakeOver is about, 2 weeks away? Yeah, 2 weeks from Saturday is TakeOver. Like I said, his music, it's amazing. It's like kind of like a mixture of Damien Sandow and like I said, a Queen song. That's the first thing I could think of. But Bobby Roode, NXT, I love it. We got word that the Bayley Asuka contract signing will take place next week, and we went to the main event of the Revival versus TM61. TM61 had the upper hand on Dawson early. The Revival got their turn on offense against Thorne. TM61 landed stereo-backed body drops, sending the Revival to the outside and leading to the first commercial break. Back from that, the Revival were in control. Miller got the hot tag. He took out both of his opponents. He caught Dawson with a huge spine buster for a nice near fall. Yeah, Miller went to tag Shane Thorne, but Dash Wilder pulled him off the apron, and this led to Miller chasing Wilder around the ring, led him into the ring, and Scott Dawson connected with a snap DDT to get the win. Very underwhelming match. These two have a lot more that they could showcase. They just didn't get a chance to here because this match was primarily a setup for what happened after the match. Didn't care for the finish. They just made TM61 kind of look like chumps there. After the match, Revival cut another promo. Dawson said it really doesn't matter where you come from. They're the top guys in NXT. Wilder listed off a list of teams that they defeated. Ciampa and Gargano interrupted. Ciampa made the Ole Arn Anderson joke, and they were walking down the ramp, picking up invisible team names, saying that they defeated American Alpha. They defeated the Hollywood Blondes, which got a nice laugh out of the crowd. They defeated Pikachu and Charmander, which got a loud Pokemon chant from the NXT crowd. I don't know what world I'm living in where Pokemon's mentioned on WETV. The Rival were thinking about leaving, but they turned around and went to attack Ciampa and Gargano. But the challengers were ready, and they fought back. They hit Wilder with their finisher and pretended to pin the champs as the crowd chanted along, 1, 2, 3. The show ended with Ciampa and Gargano holding the NXT tag titles with the Revival outside the ring. I'm actually looking forward to this match. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the tag title match that they're going to have at TakeOver. And if Ciampa and Gargano win here, I wouldn't be upset. As much as I like the Revival as the heels, they're doing a great job. This build-up for Ciampa and Gargano, the crowd's behind them. I love them. They're really great in the ring. Just to see another team on top, because the Revival have had the titles for a long time. As for the show, it was good, not great. The matches themselves, even the main event, weren't the best. They were pretty much all one-sided. I keep saying Itami's was more a showcase, like I said, just welcoming him back. Mojo Rawley didn't really get a match. He almost won, but Samoa Joe interrupted that. Asuka, same thing, was a showcase showing Bayley what she can do at TakeOver, and the tag match was whatever. It didn't last as long as I wanted it to, considering the time they had left on the show. But with the post-match stuff happening, it kind of made sense. I just love Bobby Roode in NXT. Promo, theme song, perfect fit. They do have the contract signing next week, and that's pretty much about it. As for next week, there won't be a show. I'll try to watch NXT, but I'm going to Boston for the week. So I won't have any of my recording equipment with me. I will probably record it with the week after show. I believe that would be August 15th. No, August 17th. I'll be recording one episode of NXT for the last 2 weeks, the 10th and the 17th. That'll be probably posted on Thursday the 18th. And then I'll be going to take over on August 20th, and I'll record a show after that as well, not to overload the one episode. So you'll have a break next week. One longer episode recapping the last 2 weeks as we head towards TakeOver, and then one more episode recapping TakeOver Brooklyn. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out Piv's NXT Point of View podcast. I'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 76. If you guys want, follow me on Twitter at bpiv_sports. And if you don't mind, rate, review, subscribe, do all that jazz. The show is on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, wherever else you guys listen to it. It's available for download there. All right, I'll catch you back in 2 weeks. Peace.